Welcome back. It's 6:15. It's Tuesday morning. If you haven't made plans for this Saturday, we hope you'll plan to join us. Coming up at the Rump Run, it's going to be at Enterprise South. And here to talk more about that, it's Dr. Shauna Lorenzo and David Portwood. Good morning to you both. David, pleasure to meet you.
Good morning.
Dr. Shauna, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Last time you and I were here together, we were talking about the Rump Run that's coming up and some other things that the Greater Chattanooga Colon Cancer Foundation is doing. You said, I want to bring this dynamic guy in and talk about his battle with cancer. David, you're a cancer survivor, and apparently you've had more than your share of issues with this. Give us your executive synopsis on how you were first diagnosed and what happened.
My story begins in 1984 when I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. So my doctors recommended that I have a colonoscopy every 2 years.
Right. So
for 29 years, had a colonoscopy and no issues, nothing ever showed up out of the ordinary.
Right.
In September of 2013, went in for my colonoscopy. 5 days later, biopsy comes back and the doctor called me and said that it showed cancer.
That's a call that no one ever wants to get.
Absolutely.
And that's a call that you, as a doctor, never want to have to make.
Correct.
What was your next step beyond that?
They recommended a surgeon. We went with University Surgical Associates. Dr. Daniel Stanley did my surgery, had her colon removed, and then from there, recovery, and we since have also, because of my family history, had my children do a colonoscopy.
And this is something that, and you've told me since you and I first met, this is one of the most easily detectable and easily treatable forms of cancer, right?
Absolutely.
Are stories like David's common in your practice?
I wouldn't say common, only because David has ulcerative colitis. So that is a smaller number of people, and it put him at slightly increased risk of colon cancer. But in terms of my practice, yes. And the Southeast in particular, we have one of the highest rates of colon cancer because we have the lowest rate of screening. And that's really what we want to change. And that's why we have the Greater Chattanooga Colon Cancer Foundation here in Chattanooga to keep all our funds local. And that's why we want to go to the Rump Run on Saturday.
Why do we have the lowest amount of screenings? Pretty much anywhere in the country.
If you don't know you should have a colonoscopy, you can't get a colonoscopy. So I think the #1 reason is people don't know. And that's the whole reason why we're trying to bring David out and let everyone know how important it is.
You're sort of doing this from the multi-pronged approach as far as awareness, fundraising, helping folks who can't afford colonoscopies get them. You've got the billboard campaign that I think's already started up. You got a lot of things that you do throughout the year, but this is one of the signature events. Tell us a little bit about the Rump Run. David, are you going to be there?
Yes, this will be my second time to participate. I'm just going to do the fun walk.
The fun walk,
that's
okay.
1 mile fun walk, and then there's others that will participate in the 5K race, timed race.
This is, tell us from your perspective, what do you most want to see, Dr. Shauna, at this event, at the Rump Run, and what's the takeaway message?
Well, I was going to say the takeaway message is definitely that colon cancer is treatable, it's beatable, and it is preventable. So you want to get your colonoscopy. And I'm sure we all know somebody who's 50 years old. We may love somebody over 50 years old. And so for that reason, we can all make a difference, even if you're not that age yet. The other thing is going to the Rump Run, I see it as a huge celebration because we have a survivor tent, and that's where David and the rest of the survivors will be. So if you are a survivor of colon cancer, come on down, you get a free t-shirt, and you get to meet other people and hear their stories. And I sort of see the race is exciting because, you want to win, and it's amazing how fast the people are. But the 15 minutes later, we start the 1 mile fun walk, and that's almost like a parade. It's a true celebration of those who have conquered colon cancer.
It's not the end. It's not a death sentence. David has been fighting this for a number of years, and David, we wish you many, many more years of continued help.
Thank you.
The Rump Run again's coming up Saturday. You can get out and see great folks like this. It's easy, even if you don't want to run or walk. Come out and hang out. You can find some really, really neat folks there. All right, Rump Run coming up Saturday, this Saturday, March 21st. Starts at what time, Dr. Shauna?
Registration is at 7:30. The race is at 9 a.m.
All right. Make sure and check it out. The website is rumprun.com. Again, it's rumprun.com.